enjoying Upload events so far? Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? So we'll kick off our next panel now. Could you please welcome to the stage? We need more dramatic music for tomorrow. Mental note, here we go. All right, we've got Monstah, Nellis, Mavric, Wovles, and Kosh. Come on up to the stage. Hi, you're all mic'd, you're all good, right? Come and sit down. I've been standing up all day and actually, no, I can't. It is quite, I think they're right, you know, it's quite high.
It is quite high.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
No.
Okay.
No. I assume they can hear me.
Yeah, they can hear, they can hear.
Okay, good.
So I believe today we're talking about building and maintaining an audience.
I think we are.
Yeah.
I think we are.
I feel like we are, yeah.
If it goes off on a tangent, don't worry, it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. So maybe kind of just you could offer like a little bit of insight that you've learned from your own channel, because I think like obviously for most YouTubers, like I guess the first 10K is probably the hardest
that's
part?
the hardest.
Definitely.
Definitely the hardest. The
Yeah?
first 10K is always harder than the rest of it. Once you
Yeah.
get to 10K, if you keep up the consistency, it's like a smoother ride, should you say?
Does it jump quite quickly then, quite exponentially?
First 10K took me literally like maybe over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took us a year.
And then after that, just rapid. It's like a snowball effect.
Yeah.
It happened with their channel as
I
well.
think it's the thing of like once you hit 10K, you're known a little bit more, would you say? So then it's like word of mouth comes in, and then people talk about you, and then from there on forwards, it's just.
But does 10K really mean anything anymore? Because you know how like all the numbers shift? Like I remember having a conversation with Syndicate when he was on like 1.6 million and we were like, 1.6 million, that's ludicrous, those are silly numbers. And then you're like, oh, it doesn't really seem that big so much anymore.
I guess as a YouTuber, it kind of like, you sort of get like your mind, you sort of get sort of deluded sometimes, like that's a bad thing to say, but like you look at numbers and as much as you will gain like maybe 1,000 subscribers in a day, and sometimes you just overlook it and say, oh, okay, I expect that because that's what you expect.
Yeah.
But however, to someone that has just started 1,000 subscribers in a day, that's mental.
Yeah,
Even 1,000 subscribers in general in a year is mental.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes the bigger you I'm not saying the bigger you get because some people are different, but when you're growing and when you're actively growing, you sort of like forget how important and how big the numbers actually seem and actually are. You know, it's quite easy to overlook it.
Back to your question, is 10K a lot right now? I mean, I would definitely say yeah. I don't think any amount of subscribers is not enough. It just depends on what your goals are. You know, for some people, 10K can happen in a day, as we've seen this year. You know, but for some people, 10K can happen in a year, which means that depending on who you are, 10K is either a lot to you or not. But 10K does mean that you are working hard towards something. Yeah. I mean, 10K is not a small number. 10,000.
It's like the first real milestone.
Yeah. 10,000 people have subscribed to you to watch your videos. That is a lot. It's definitely something to be happy about. It definitely still carries a lot of weight nowadays. I know a lot of people move quite fast, so they think, oh, 1K is not a big milestone or 10K is not a big milestone. But in my opinion, every milestone is still a milestone, you know, it still matters.
How hard is it not? I mean, I can imagine, you know, I don't do YouTube properly. I can imagine that you just get really obsessed with numbers. How do you, because
It's the biggest.
but then it's like you're not really, if all you care about is the numbers, then you'll kind of lose sight on what the fun and essence of what your content is. Or can you be obsessed and make good content
Some
still?
people are.
Sorry. I think personally, it's quite common to find yourself just very focused on how many numbers and how many subscribers and views you get, and it's natural because YouTubers at the end of the day, you want views. That's what you want. You want people to see what you do, and you want people to subscribe to you and watch you concurrently. But I think sometimes you have to just take a step back and just put things into perspective and just realize that at the end of the day, you started off doing this because you enjoyed it. And that's what I do. I mean, I sometimes just sit down and just think, you know what? End of the day, man, I'm just gonna enjoy what I do. And I think that's one of the biggest tips I can give to one of you guys that are starting up or budding. Like, you need to just enjoy what you do. If you don't enjoy it, people won't see that. People will be able to read you that you're not enjoying it, and they won't really watch you. You know? You've got to enjoy what you're doing, no matter what it is.
I think in this day and age as well, everything you do nowadays is kind of numbers.
Yeah.
Like even in respects of Instagram, you look at Instagram and you see some people that have literally got 100,000 followers for what you see as why have they got that amount. So you then look at your amount and think, wait, I've only got 1,000, yet this person's got 100,000. Does that mean they're better than me, more successful than me? And for me, it's hard to kind of not think like that, as I said, because everyone does nowadays. But like Paris said, for me, and Wolf as well, we just love what we do.
Yeah.
So the fact that even if we get 2 subscribers in that day or 3 subscribers in that day, the fact that there are 2 or 3 more people that want to watch what we enjoy doing, for me, that is amazing. And that's the best feeling in the world. So I'm still obsessed, but I like looking at the numbers for different reasons, maybe to what it might look like from the outside looking in. I look at it because I'm achieving what I want. This is what I want to do. This is my passion. And every single person that added to that is just amazing for me. So that's why I'm obsessed, and that's why I constantly want more for that reason.
Do you think that people sometimes, they see like the big YouTubers, they must be making millions, and they kind of go into YouTube for sort of the wrong reasons? Because I think if you're numbers and financially focused, I guess if you never hit those targets, you're a failure, and it was a waste of time. Whereas if you're having fun, then it's not a waste of time, right?
Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, I think if you're doing YouTube for financial or money reasons, then it's never really going to work out. I think the main priority is to just have fun with it. That's what we do. We played FIFA and we thought one day, you know what, we have fun when we do it. Why not record it? Because we think you guys would find it funny of what we do. And so far you guys are, which is good. But that was the main reason. We weren't thinking, we're seeing KSI buying Lamborghinis and all this. Or we want that. Like, we just enjoy uploading videos and making people laugh. And that's how we think of it. And I think that's how you should think of it, and not think of like the money.
I don't think it's possible for you to start YouTube for the money. I mean, some people probably do, but I'm yet to hear of someone who does that, because if you start YouTube for the money, you're kind of like...
Would they admit it though?
You wouldn't admit it because you wouldn't be in a place for you to admit it, in my opinion, because it takes you a long time to get to the stage where you're earning money. So if you started YouTube for money, then we'll be talking years.
If you do it just for money, eventually, might not straight away, but reflecting your content.
Yeah.
So people will just see through that, and then eventually, I don't know, your channel could die, anything could happen, really.
Yeah, you can never start YouTube for money, because if you start YouTube for money, in the long run, you won't be able to keep it up because the passion won't be there. Because if the money doesn't come as quick as you want it to come, then obviously your content is going to degrade. It's not going to be the same level as if you started for entertainment. Because if you start for entertainment because you love it, you're always looking to improve your content. You're always looking to make your content better. I've been watching Mavric and Wolfie since they had like 100 subs or something like that. And their content now is like 10 times better than it was ever. But if they started for money, they must make money now. They could just keep the content at the same level as it was before. Why change? Why improve? Why get better? You could just upload the same crappy content as long as you're getting paid. I mean, so it depends. It all depends on what you want, to be honest. If you want to be successful, if you don't think about money at all and you just want to be successful in what you do because you enjoy it, it will definitely reflect 100%.
Do you think people don't really realise, I think that's one of the misconceptions I always come up with, kind of being slightly in between the two kind of worlds and seeing kind of, talking to brands and sponsors and stuff. And I don't think, people really realise how much of your time, it's a commitment. I mean, you guys, if you're going to make any go of it, right, you've got to do it pretty much full time, right?
Someone said to me, someone literally said to me, all you do all day is play FIFA.
Yes.
I was like,
so rude.
Well,
I wish.
We wish.
Trust me.
We were up till 3 a.m. last night editing a video. So
Editing. Why does it have to take so
people
long?
think it's just click record, stop record, and upload.
Yeah, I think people in the outside world think like videos edit themselves. Because I was speaking to someone and she was like, "Oh, you just record right and it goes on YouTube straight away." I'm like, "Oh yeah, definitely. That's how it's done." I mean,
that's exactly what I do. I don't spend 3 hours recording the FIFA material, then 7 to 8 hours editing it. I just click record and upload.
And it's just there straight away. Such a big commitment. And back to, if you're doing it for money, you won't be able to stick to that commitment because it takes your time, it takes you away from people.
It has to be something you're passionate about.
Something you got to, because so many people won't believe in you as well at the start. I mean, my parents, unless you have the right group of friends who are into it as well, it's very tough. That's why most YouTubers have friends that are also YouTubers, because then you understand what you're doing. Because most friends outside of YouTube would be like, why are you just inside all day?
Quit complaining.
You're just messing around,
So maybe kind of like, just if we can kind of go down the line and talk a little bit about kind of like how you started out and kind of some of the errors maybe you made initially, and kind of, because I think that's important, stuff that people could avoid doing if they're interested in kind of growing their channels more.
I started off watching KSI's Road to Division 1 in FIFA 12, and I used to go to school, come home every day and just get food and just watch it, to be honest. But I just wanted to myself, I want to do this. Like, this is something I like doing, so why don't I record it? So I managed to get my mum to buy me a HD PVR to record my Xbox, and I got my headset and stuff, and I did exactly what KSI did, because that's all I knew. That's all I watched, so that's all I knew. That was my main influence. I did exactly, I tried to be exactly him, because that's all I learned from someone who was successful.
But would you say that's the right thing to do now?
Yeah, no. You can take, I think you need to
learn.
Yeah, it's a good way to learn. You need to look up to people, but you need to also be your own person and be creative, and that's one mistake I made. I wasn't creative quick enough, so it took me a while to build up my own sense of personality online. People wasn't seeing me for me. People were seeing me as someone else, because the other person that I was learning off of is obviously more popular than me. And I got it for years, I still get it now, but it's something that I would say you need to just remember, that you can learn things, but you need to also find your own niche, find your thing. And once you find your thing, it takes a while. Some people find it, some people won't. Believe in yourself, search for your thing that you like doing and the way you do it. And once you found that, keep at it, don't stop. Believe in yourself.
It's in the name, isn't it? It's called YouTube. It's all about make your channel you. I mean, there's no problem in taking inspiration from others. Of course, KSI is one of the biggest one of the biggest on YouTube. So if you're going to the FIFA community, you're definitely taking a look at KSI. It's definitely taking a look at the Sidemen. So you want to take inspiration from them, but there's a difference in being inspired and direct copying. You got to take that inspiration and make it your own. Yeah, customize it basically.
Yeah. I think that when it comes to creating content, at first you might not be sure what you actually want to do first, and take that risk. So, for example, I can't remember what I'd done right at the beginning, but I've gone from in real life videos in my bedroom to public videos in Leicester Square to FIFA videos, and then finally I've sort of settled down now, because I know, I'm mainly football videos with a bit of FIFA. So that's where I found where I want to go in that direction.
You can never. I don't think you can ever. Would you not say you can never find what kind of content you want to create straight away?
Always adapting.
You've got to try everything out. Do a little bit of everything, and then see what.
Even though we all do FIFA, we've tried the odd vlog, we've tried the odd, the odd skit. Yeah. But if you feel like you're not really a skit person, then you stick with FIFA. Personally, I don't see myself doing anything more than FIFA. Whether FIFA has a big future or not, I don't know. But obviously, when the time comes, you expand. But right now, I spend 24 hours in my room playing FIFA, so I don't really have the time to do anything else but FIFA.
For that subject, I'm one of the most I think I'm important to speak. It's important that I speak about it, because during the 5 years I've been doing YouTube, from 2012, I've actually tried so many different types of things. Just based on some things, because I want to do these things. I'll have an idea and I'll just do it. And that's one thing that I've always had. I'm not scared to try something. I don't mind if people don't like it. I'll try it because I just want to try it and I enjoy it at the time. One day I might want to make a music video. One day I might want to make a vlog. I might wake up next day and say, do you know what? I just want to make a UFC video. And it's just about believing in the fact that you enjoy it. You are in control. When you start to build up views and subscribers, your subscribers are gonna create a demand, but then you need to come back to your base and think, you know what, it's my channel, and I'm gonna mold these subscribers into liking whatever I create. And that's what you guys like about the Sidemen, because, you know, they create a lot of content and it's all based down to, you know, you guys loving them for them. And that's one thing that is very important about building a YouTube channel and building a brand and sustaining an audience. Your audience needs to love you for you.
But I gotta stop you there just because you said you've tried a lot of things over the 5 years.
Yeah.
But the topic of the panel is building and sustaining. If you want to sustain your channel, you can't switch up 1,000 times, you know.
And that's...
You can't switch up so many times because the subscribers you gain from one thing are like, I'm here for FIFA. And then next month you're doing GTA. And then like, the FIFA subscribers become inactive. They don't watch your videos anymore. And then the GTA people who come through are like, I'm here for GTA. But then you switch up to, I don't know, Call of Duty or vlogs or something.
That's a huge
you gotta keep it, you gotta sustain it. If any of you guys watch the FaZe members, even the Sidemen, they're very consistent. Simon, you know Simon does FIFA, skits, vlogs. You know that.
I'd say that applies to 90% of
90% of YouTubers.
Because there are characters out there that can upload anything
true.
and still get the same views.
That is true.
It's all down to the person. But
you've
have some big personality.
In my opinion, they've built that from
over
the start.
time.
You know, from their first 10, 20 videos, they've shown that they're going to be uploading a variety of stuff. They didn't upload 20 FIFA videos and then move to something else, you know. You got to show that you're going to be mixing the uploads, the things the content before you build a big base, you know.
That might go back to what we first said about finding what you want to do.
Exactly.
And for Paris, maybe he hasn't fully found what he wants to do yet.
I found it now. I know what I want to do, and I know the direction I want to take my channel in. And what I was saying is, never ever be afraid to try things that you want to do, because I've done it, and I'm not saying it. You know, I'm not saying it's totally make my audience know exactly what they're coming to my channel for, because people subscribe for different things, and that happens. That's just natural. However, I know what I want to do now, and that's what's most important, I guess. You know, now I know what I want to do, so now I can keep doing it, and I can sustain I can build my audience even bigger now, because I know what I want to do, and the subscribers that subscribe now will come on board and love what I do, and the old subscribers that want to come back, they'll learn. Oh, Paris is doing vlogs now, or whatever. I'm gonna be interested because I like him. You know what I'm trying to say? So, but don't be scared.
What you're saying is basically like, if you're going down a road already, don't stick necessarily to that road. If you're not feeling it, you can. Don't be afraid to
it's all
switch
about what you
and then find something new.
Because to be honest
if
with
you
you,
want to.
I did FIFA for like 3 years straight, nothing else. FIFA. Then after like 3 years, I thought, FIFA's. I don't really enjoy playing this game as much because I grew up.
You don't play FIFA
it anymore because I haven't fully. I still like play it from time to time, but I was young. I enjoyed FIFA. I enjoyed gaming. I went through school. I grew out of that phase of just sticking in at my Xbox all day. So now I've sort of not fully gone out of it, but now I've sort of gone out of sort of a phase of doing that and spending my time doing that. I want to try other things, and I want to get out. I try to go out, interview people in public. I was growing up, and that's what you have to do. You have to, if you're going to do this for long term, you're going to grow with, your channel's going to grow with you, and you can't do everything forever, you know what I'm trying to say? There's going to be a moment where you're going to think, oh man, I don't enjoy doing this anymore, let me try this. And don't be afraid to make that decision.
And going back to what you said about starting up a YouTube channel, we get a lot of questions saying, I would love to start a YouTube channel, but I'm just too shy. And like, if you watched our first video, which I'm saying, don't go watch it. If you watched our first video compared to our latest video, the difference in like how we act and what we do is like ridiculous.
I'm
like,
pretty sure for the first video, Mav didn't speak.
Yeah, Mav was just sat. He just sat
Mav
there.
didn't speak for the
In
entire
our
video.
videos, I don't do an awful lot sometimes.
But
in our first ones.
But what I'm trying to say is, if you want to do it, you have to get out of your comfort zone at some points.
Definitely.
And practice makes perfect. So the more you do of your craft, the better you're going to become. Because at first, I hate to keep like slaying you.
It's fine. Go for it.
He edited a video and I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to stick to editing for a year. But then he kept practicing and he was like, yo, I edited this vlog. And I was like, that's sick. And you edit a lot of the vlogs now. And he edits better videos than I do in some sort of things. So it's like, the more you practice, the better you get at your craft. So if you really want to do it, don't be scared to try and just like get out of your comfort zone.
I mean, it's the same with, I think, all kind of production, like in front of camera, behind camera. Like, you can think about stuff that you want to do, but you just have to do it and learn by doing it. Because if you read a book or like you watch a video of how to do it online, it's never the same. It's just like, you know what, I'm just going to film this thing, try and edit it. Oh, that's terrible. Maybe don't do that again. But you know, but that's how you learn, right? Yeah.
But you got to remember that if you do start it, and of course if you start it for the right reasons, which is because you want to do it, you just don't quit. That's my honest opinion on it, is no matter what you do, as long as you love it, don't feel unmotivated either because of numbers or because you think your editing isn't good enough. Practice, train yourself, get better, but stick at it no matter what.
Just have fun with it.
That applies to a lot of life. I would say not just YouTube. It's pretty much a war of attrition.
Yeah.
You've just got to stick at it. When it gets hard, that's the point where most people stop.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
if you get that sensation, that's the moment where you know you have to push through, because you know there's going to be a bunch of people who quit. You've got to be the last one standing.
I was going to say, the one thing guaranteed in YouTube is that you're going to have highs and lows.
Highs and lows.
It's a way.
And
Just life.
It's how you deal with the lows.
Yeah.
If you just keep on going, plow through it, you'll be fine.
But
like you said, eventually some people just give up because they just don't see the numbers. So going back to obsessive numbers. So it depends what type of person you are.
I mean, like, okay, I've always wanted to know, like, how deep do you go in your analytics? Do you get
deep.
go in there?
Very
like,
deep.
do you create pie charts from the data? Like, how deep does it go?
I don't create pie charts. So I don't have I'm not like obsessive to have an Excel sheet, but I do have like a Chrome.
Yeah, you do.
I still make Excel
Really
sheets.
do.
I have a Chrome tab. I have a Chrome tab, the Chrome window with all my like stats open every morning, so I just check it.
Life statistics.
Just because I'm obsessed with numbers. But yes, it does get me down sometimes. But then you have friends with you who are like, you know what, you gotta keep going.
Nellis.
Nellis.
I mean, it must be tough because obviously, you know, it is all about kind of like, you know, you want to see yourself kind of succeeding, and especially say if you've spent a lot of time on a video and you're like, everyone's gonna love this, and then they hate it.
And you gotta realize
that's
that,
so crushing.
especially in gaming, YouTube is a big investment. You know, just to buy a setup alone, we're talking grands here.
Yeah.
So it's a big investment, and when you put that investment in, you're putting that time in. You know, nobody likes to be unliked. You know, you don't like to be disliked. So when you're putting content out there, I remember when I was a smaller channel, you just like, if people aren't watching, you're like, what have I done wrong? Like, what's going on? Why did nobody like me? You know. Well, it's just about pushing on, and you find the people who do like you.
I think it goes back to having fun as well with it, because we've uploaded videos and I've gone, people are gonna love this. And it doesn't do as well as I thought it would. But at the end of the day, I still really enjoyed recording that video, doing the video and editing the video. So I don't feel as disheartened because I still had a good time doing it.
And also all YouTubers, everyone's come across this. There's videos that, like you said, you edit, you love. Sometimes it turns out well, sometimes it doesn't. But then there's videos where you just
spend
sat
like
down.
10 minutes.
Not quite 10 minutes, but not as long. And you're thinking, should I upload this, should I not? You do it in the end, and some reason it's your highest viewed video.
He's the expert at this. Nellis comes to me.
Was he a sneaky
He
video
comes to me and he's like, oh, watch this video. I was like, yeah, it's really good. And he's like, I don't like it. I don't think it's a good video at all. I was like, just upload it. And now it's what, your third highest video or something like that? It's done.
I don't
amazing,
understand,
you know? It's got almost and he's like, he didn't want to upload it in the first place. But yeah, another thing, you've got to take risks. Because if he never uploaded it, it would never have done as good as it did.
It's also that kind of thing of like trying to catch fire. Like, there's so many conversations about, well, how do you have a successful YouTube channel? Well, okay, you got to upload regularly and you know. And it's like, oh, you just do A, B, and C. But it's not about A, B, and C, because once A, B, and C is out there, that's that equation. You need A, B, and D.
There's a lot of people doing
or
that.
F. What's Q? I mean, what's that about? What do I need? Do I need a hat? Who knows? But you don't know unless you try it, right?
I wouldn't say there's any.
There's no
that's
tutorial.
the thing with YouTube. There's no one formula that you can do which is going to make you successful, and that's the problem. A lot of people. Kosh mentioned it, but he found us very early doors, and he saw potential in us, and we were doing a certain thing. And it's about taking advice from other people, and it's staying confident in yourself and what you're doing, and that what you're doing is going to get you somewhere in the end. Because I mean, Kosh gave us a lot of advice, and just seeking advice of other people as well in general, not just because you're your own worst enemy in a lot of cases, because you will literally, as you said, you'll upload a video, go, no, I don't like it, take it down. For all you know, that could have become your best video, and you don't know. So the best thing to do, Kosh does this a lot, but the best thing to do is just seek advice from your friends and just not leave it to yourself. Just ask them, guys, can you, like Nellis does with Kosh, can you watch my video? What do you think of it? And take other people's opinions.
I feel like in YouTube, and just like anything else in life, and of course a lot of people here probably in college or school, you just got to know that friends are, if there's one thing, definitely, one rule is you've got to have friends who can support you, who can help you. I feel like there's no way, take a look at the Sidemen, for example, 6, 7 friends together, and they all motivate each other to keep being better, the best self of themselves they can be. And that's why friends are so good. You know, you gotta have friends who can motivate you, because otherwise there's no YouTuber out there who's just alone. It's impossible. Because you know, you get unmotivated, you get your lows, you get your highs, but they're there for everything.
Yeah.
But you know, you've always got those mates, like they're usually like really old school mates who just don't understand what you do.
But then,
and they're like so draining, and you're just like, you know, I can't even deal with that. You need to have people who are like, that's it,
it's
do more of that. Like,
it's putting yourself with like-minded people.
Exactly.
Like you touched on earlier, a lot of YouTubers have a lot of YouTuber friends because they like hanging around with each other, they're like-minded, you can bounce ideas off each other. And you have the old friends that just go, "What are you doing with your life?"
Why aren't you coming down the pub
It's just
with
because
us?
I speak to a few people here and there, and they're like, and they're doing YouTube. I come across the channel like, "Oh, really?" And they're like, "Yeah, but don't say anything about it. I don't want my friends to know." And I'm like, "Well, it's either you make some friends who can know about this and help you out, or you just." Doing it without friends is so hard, you know. And I'm like, why don't you get some of your friends to support your videos? He's like, no, I don't want my friends to know. They'll laugh. I mean, they might not laugh because now YouTube is such a popular thing. Everybody is so familiar with it. It's not something to laugh at, especially when they know how much money you can make in it and stuff. Everyone wants to get in it.
The friends that are not YouTuber friends are the ones that tend to say, you play FIFA all day. But just going back a step a bit, because we're talking about views, etc. I see some people search this, and I'll say, never ever do this. Is that, you know, when people search how to get views on YouTube?
Never do that.
Just don't never do that. Like, the stuff, there's like loads of videos on it.
That's the most clickbait.
I don't think I have a tank top low enough.
Some people do that. I'm just thinking, why? It doesn't work. Don't do every step
have
opposite.
the camera placed here, wear this product, upload this video.
Nothing to do with that.
There isn't 10 steps to it. There's no 10 steps to
But
it.
again, it's about catching something. It's about catching a moment or a feeling or a game
Trends.
or whatever it is. Yeah, and trends. And like as soon as it's like a moth, right? As soon as you touch it, then it doesn't really work so much.
But since the topic of the panel is build and sustain, you got to remember that there's no 10 steps, but there are a few things you got to do, like constant upload.
Okay, so how often do you have to upload to grow your YouTube channel?
Well, we
How
do
would you say?
daily, unless
Daily?
they do daily.
We do that.
Daily, because sometimes I take my videos down. And
The more the better, really.
but the more the better, Because you do what, two,
Well,
3 times a week?
depends. 2 to 4.
It just depends on what your subscribers like.
Yeah,
But to build that subscriber base, you kind of got to do constant uploads. So then you build the base up. And then once you build the base up, they'll tell you what they like to see. You know, for Nellis, his subscribers respond to different kind of uploads. Then to Mavric Wolfie, they upload daily. Their subscribers respond to it well. I upload daily.
Sometimes.
I upload daily.
Yeah.
Until I take it down.
I personally would say it's about what you're comfortable with. You know, I mean, a lot of people might have school and college and other, you know, other commitments. I might look at it like someone asked me today, like, "Oh, Paris, like, how I've got school and stuff. How am I gonna upload and, you know, put a lot of time into YouTube when I've got school?" And I think it goes down to just being able to prioritize YouTube and school. So obviously, YouTube is like, look at YouTube as like the equivalent to going out and playing football with your friends on the weekend. Like, you can't do everything at once. If you're gonna use YouTube as a hobby, it's got to be a proper hobby, something that you want to do for fun. And you just got to put your, you know, you got to just divide your time and make sure you concentrate on what's important, which is school. But then when you get the free time, you need to put that time into YouTube.
You are going to basically sacrifice something.
You are,
right?
you
So
are.
if it's time
There
with
is a
friends,
sacrifice.
then maybe it's time with your friends.
What helped
right?
with us in our first year of YouTube, we only uploaded once a week, and we got a few subs, but nowhere near as how much we get when we are uploading 3 or 4 a week. But what we did do, and what was a lot easier, is that we streamed. and that got us a lot of followers. And we didn't have to record and edit, which would take up hours. Literally just hit stream, you're there, it's live. We got some followers, and then what we did is we brought them over to our YouTube channel. So we were growing both at the same time and not putting in as much or time.
It's just time management.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Time management, that's the
Doing the best you can with the time
you
you've got.
have.
Like
Exactly.
I personally, when we first started this, I was working full time. So I was getting home at like 6, 7 in the evening, then going to record at Wovles. Then he was editing it because I wasn't good at editing back then. And we just put any time we possibly could, free time. And you do have to make sacrifices. Like a lot of my friends that don't do YouTube, I didn't see for a bit, but you've got to think of the bigger picture, and that's what I have thought of, which is if I put the time in and the effort now into what I enjoy, in the future I'll have more free time and I'll be able to see my friends again.
Yeah.
Once I've got my passion out there, or once I've got my career sorted and everything, as you said, if you've got school, school's more important at the time.
Yeah.
So concentrate on school, but any free time you've got, if your mates are going down to play football, but you've got to edit a video, edit the video. You just have to accept that you might not be able to do certain things that other people
You
will.
do have to
But
make sacrifices.
long run, it's for a good reason.
Yeah, I live in London, and I used to go to school and then come home and go straight to my room. It's not that I wasn't allowed to go out. I just didn't want to go out. I came home and I was just on my computer. I was really interested in just learning things, how to use Photoshop. I learned that when I was in like year 7, how to use Photoshop, just because I was bored in my room. And look now, I make my own thumbnails, and I know Photoshop fluently. So every little bit of skill, everything you can learn helps. Every bit of time you have helps. You know, every day, coming home after school and going to my computer and just being bored for the rest of the night and just eating my dinner and just going back to my room and going on YouTube to search on how to edit videos. Those little moments, those half an hours or those hours that I put in back then accelerated my skills now, because I can now say I'm a much better editor, much better, graphic designer.
Yeah.
You know, because of when I was in school, I wasn't doing anything else but learning how to do these things because I was bored. So it's just about building the craft, learning the craft, and believing in the craft. That's it.
And actually, you're learning some like really good transferable. So say you don't do YouTube,
Exactly.
you're learning
Yeah.
Photoshop, you're learning editing, you're learning
That's the
camera
good thing
skills, you're
about
learning
YouTube,
lighting skills, you're learning
Yeah.
like, how to script, how to present on camera.
Yeah,
These are all
YouTube-
things that could lead to other things.
Yeah, there's
that
lots
you
of
don't
does
do.
a lot
As a presenter,
YouTube got a lot of
But
skills
just
for
no,
them.
not too many presenters. Okay? We have a job.
That's your job. Stick to
we're
this
not,
one.
we're not trying to.
Is there anything else you want to add? Because I think we're going to wrap it up in a sec. Is there anything you would like to impart upon our audience on how to build and maintain your audience that you feel like we haven't touched upon?
Is there any questions?
Do we take any questions? We take questions.
Couple of questions.
You do a couple of questions,
Yeah,
if you like.
from
I can-
anyone
let
that's
me
got-
run over.
I'm sure someone will have a question of some form.
You would hope.
Good hope, anyways.
Here's to hoping, please, one
Has anyone got a question?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
got one.
Could you stand
We
up
got
for
one.
me? Could you
Take
stand
it.
up for me? Thanks.
What if you want to do it right, but you're just like way too nervous? Because I can't like help it. I want to, but
yeah.
You gotta try, bro.
I think
I'd say,
Starting YouTube.
yeah, maybe record a video on your own first, and then you don't have to put it live. Make it unlisted, share it out to some friends.
yeah.
So then you get a few more views, and eventually you'll get into it.
But then again, no video is perfect. So
Yeah.
if you're nervous and that shows in your video, that's fine. Because in my opinion, that's fine for the first few videos.
Yeah.
But then you yourself, you'll watch those videos back and you start feeling
just
more
see your
comfortable.
growth.
You'd be like, you know what, in the first video, I was shaking. And in the second video, I wasn't shaking as much, I was calm. And then by the time you know it, in your 10th video, you'll be good. You just need to start, you know?
Yeah.
Even if you're nervous, show that nervousness on camera. It's not a problem,
I feel like the problem there is that we all look at the JJs,
the bigger
Simons,
YouTubers, yeah.
and we look at their videos now, but we forget that JJ's been doing it for 6-7 years.
Yeah.
Simon's been doing it for 3 or 4. So what if you're starting out? What you really want to look at is their first videos, not their current videos, because without being harsh to you, unless you are the best editors in the room, and I don't know about it, you're not going to be able to reach the level that they're at now, because it's taken years to get there. And look at people's first videos and look at where they've
Not
come
ours.
from. Not ours. No, even ours is a great example. Between our first video and our videos now, we are completely different behind the camera then as we are now, because you learn the little things as when to speak, especially as a duo as well. You learn when to speak, when not to speak, and all these little things that the only way you're going to learn that is by doing it. You're not going to do it by watching someone else's video. You have to do it yourself and just take that plunge, like they said, and maybe...
All I'm saying is having a terrible first video is actually a good thing, because now I go back to like my first video. I didn't delete it, actually. I went back to like a year after watching my first video, and I laugh at it now. I'm like, so different. I put them side by side, and I'm like, yeah, you can definitely say it's good. It's good to have a terrible first video, so then you can have a comparison. If you were perfect in your first video, then you wouldn't know if you've improved at all.
All right, do we have time for one more question?
One more question.
You stand up, please.
Should have been a female.
If you was going to like start off, what would you say the best setup equipment would be? And you know, editing software and stuff like that. What would you say?
Sony Vegas, definitely.
Well,
actually,
It depends what platform.
yeah.
depends on what you
It depends
use.
what platform you're on.
Yeah.
PS4, but also like, you know, PC.
Do you have a Mac or Windows?
Mac.
Oh yeah,
So
Well, you need an Elgato.
definitely.
That will capture your game footage. There's so many cameras. I think it's just knowing your price range. But you can, I mean, people go for Canons. Nikons are quite good. A lot of people use the Canon G7X.
G7X, yeah, the G7X is the most, yeah.
That's a good camera. But you'll need a capture device. For software, did you say it was Mac?
if you're going to do Mac, I'd recommend Final Cut Pro
Or
Premiere Pro.
Premiere Pro.
I prefer Final Cut.
They're very, very similar. It's just,
To be honest, you can use iMovie.
yeah.
Yeah, even iMovie works.
To be honest.
Wait,
you can use anything.
Everybody here started off on Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah,
Did you know?
to be honest,
Did you know? I started on
Vegas.
Windows Movie Maker.
I started on Sony Vegas, but
Sony Vegas.
Sony
But
Vegas,
then
yeah.
again, you know, I sat down on YouTube and I learned how to use Sony Vegas. You just gotta just go on YouTube, look at tutorials, invest your time into learning something, and once you learn, then you learn more. You try to edit little things,
And
record yourself in your room, import it, you know, play around with it, learn.
It's your budget as well. Like the thing is, buy the camera that you can afford, because as you're learning your craft, you can upgrade. And once you've learnt the skills, so I started on Sony Vegas. That's where I wasn't very good.
I'm still
and I'm now on Premiere Pro, but that's just natural. It's just changed because that's what I felt more comfortable with. And I could we've upgraded cameras as we've gone along from our first videos. So just buy what you can afford. Don't go out and try and buy the best equipment thinking, I'm going to spend £2,000 on this camera because the other one's 200 quid. Just buy what you can afford and do the best you can with what you've got until you can upgrade.
All I'm saying as well is most people now don't realize a little trick. Well, but anyways, as you know, most phones nowadays have the best pixel.
Yeah.
So iPhone, most Android phones. If you want to vlog, you can vlog on that.
Yep.
If you want to do like your face cam for gameplay, you can do that as well. The mic on there is decent to start off with.
Yeah.
And then once you build yourself up and you've got, you know, some spare change or whatever, then you buy yourself a proper camera. But most phone cameras now are 1080p's, so there's no way you're uploading that to YouTube when it's looking like crap quality. It's gonna look good, it'll look normal. The only thing that will be bad about it is the mic quality, but like I said, it's your first video.
Yeah.
So by the time you grow, you see the difference.
Like
and you can improve.
Mav and Kosh said, before this camera, it's just one of many. I literally have 5 before that.
Yeah.
Like, I
So many
started
cameras
I
before.
started off with the handheld ones, like a video camera. I had that. Like, who starts with that?
But buy a tripod as well, because for the first couple months I was using books. I couldn't get the angle right.
I had my
So I was
Xbox
like, my head's
too.
chopped off. So yeah, definitely invest in a tripod.
Yeah, definitely a tripod.
All right, guys. Well, look, sorry, we're going to have to wrap it up now so we keep on schedule. But can we have a big round of applause for everyone on the panel? Thank you so much. Yeah, and don't go anywhere. Our next panel will be in about 15